Alright guys, so in the last video you were working on getting power in your two-handed backhand. Now we know that a lot of people have a perspective about one-handed backhand where they say, well, you know, one-handed backhand, nobody really plays a one-handed backhand, or you can get more power in two-handed backhand than one-handed backhand. But I have to disagree with that. And one of the main proof that I can give it to you is that in the finals, ATP finals, we had 3 people playing in the semifinals with one-handed backhand. That was Tsitsipas, Roger Federer, and Dominic Thiem. And 2 of them actually went to the finals of the tournament. And here's your proof, you know, that you have so many one-handed backhand players in the top 10, top 20 in the world, crushing those backhand. Just watch Wawrinka, watch those guys. They're absolutely amazing on the one-handed backhand. Now, actually, there was a study where they proved that one-handed and two-handed backhand actually they took into consideration the spin, the power, all the shots that you can hit on both shots, and actually it's very, very close. So either way, if you have one-handed or two-handed, don't be disappointed and say, oh, one shot is better than the other. It's actually almost the same. So if you know how to hit it, you know all the basics, you understand how to do it, you'll have no problem generating power on one-handed or two-handed backhand. Now, of course, there's few things that both shots have a little bit problem with. Let's say on two-handed backhand, it's a little bit harder, let's say on the stretch, when you have to pull out, it sometimes might be a little bit challenging. As where on the one-handed backhand, you can get, you know, a little more rich. Although on the return of serves, let's say on the higher balls, you can find yourself having easier time with two-handed backhand than one-handed backhand. But either way, it's just the minor things that, you know, if your footwork is good enough, you can avoid those situations. You can actually strike both shots really well. So a couple of things we need to look at. Number one is, let's look at 3 biggest myths that people have perspective about one-handed backhand, and I'll prove you that is wrong. Number one is that people think you have to have a strong arm in order to hit one-handed backhand. So if they're not exercising or not very strong, like Aritz, you know, he's very muscular and stuff. But if they're not, they feel like, okay, I can't play one-handed backhand because I'm just weak, you know, I can't hit the ball. So I got to prove you wrong, because really you're not using that much of your arm itself. You can be very relaxed and you can be completely effortless when you hit that ball. You can watch Roger Federer, all the guys, top guys, you can see they're so effortless. And you can say, well, but they're so good. So, you know, it's really just biomechanics. That's why they can strike the ball. So you're really generating power coming from your hips, your legs, your shoulders, and body transfer. So that's myth number one. Number two, some people say, well, you know, one-handed backhand is so much challenging to just deal with the ball or whatnot. But really, if you are moving your feet correctly and you're getting set really well, you will hit the ball in the same point of contact. At least that's the goal, right? At least, you know, have the ball somewhere from the knee level to below the shoulder level, and you can strike the ball really well. So if you can anticipate, you can get set well and move to the ball, you will have no problem on your one-handed backhand. And number three, a lot of people, I feel like it's more defensive shot, just generally. So if somebody strikes the ball hard to your one-hand backhand, they're like, oh, I can't do it. But it's just a mindset, in my opinion. So if somebody hits the ball in your back, and I've seen this before, let's say if I'm on the baseline, people already go back and become very defensive in their movement. So if you're just taking that shot and thinking, okay, this is just as good as my forehand, you change your mindset on that, and you're thinking more aggressive on the one-handed backhand, I believe you can really deal. All right, guys, so let's go back to myth number one, and let's see what you can do in order to avoid it. So we're talking about how you have to have a strong arm or whatnot. But what I want you to do, actually, just do a few drills where you're going to prove to yourself that you don't have to have a strong arm. You can really strike the ball with a lot of power on your backhand. So number one, you want to stay actually very relaxed. That will help you out, because make sure you just barely hold your racket. Make sure you have an appropriate grip. When you take it back, the only thing, focus on make sure your racket is not flicked like that back, or you don't take too big of a backswing. You want to be a little bit more compact, right? Now, you're going to be focusing more on the hip torque on your backhand, on your one-handed backhand, so it's not really of much of a rotation where you're going to have this torque. So you start the motion with your hips, and you're going to kind of just explode your shoulders into the shot, right? Number two, so when you start striking the ball, you will see increase of the power. Make sure your point of contact has to be way in front of you. So we assume if I'm facing the net is that way, right? Point of contact has to be towards the net. All right, a lot of people think it's in front, meaning towards the side fence, which is not right. So your point of contact will be full length of your arm in front of you. So if you compare it to two-handed backhand, two-handed backhand is a little bit closer, actually a lot closer than the one-handed. One-handed backhand is a lot more in front of you. So we're going to feed a few balls. We're also going to work on the body transfer. So the way you would feed the ball to yourself is slightly forward. So it's going to force you to go after the ball. And then you're going to use your hips and you're going to swing through the ball. Now, one more thing, when you're swinging through the ball, make sure you bring your left hand back, which is going to keep you sideways. Otherwise, you're going to overswing, and the ball is going to be like a baseball bat. You're going to make a lot of home runs. So we're going to start. We're going to feed the ball slightly forward, step in, and you're going to swing through the ball. All right, don't be afraid to swing through it. And again, you're going to swing, toss the ball forward, step in, and swing the ball through the ball. So now I'm going to show you as we'll actually hit the ball over net. All right, so we're going to toss the ball forward and accelerate. You see how we're getting a lot of pace on that shot, and I'm transferring my body weight, and I'm absolutely relaxed. I'm barely holding my racket. Everything comes through my legs, my hips, and my shoulders. All right, number two is where, or actually let's go into number three, where people have this mindset that you have to be defensive. If somebody strikes the ball, it's a weaker shot or whatnot. I just want you to make a very small adjustment in your game, and next time when the ball somebody strikes to your backhand with a lot of pace and power, make sure you get set up, and just relax and swing right back to them. Don't think that this is going to be a weaker shot. It's all in your head. You're just trying to be I'm just going to get the ball back, and you're pulling back, especially on the kick serve. You're not trying to step in, make a few mistakes, own your mistakes, and learn from it. Try to get better and better. Make sure your timing is very good. So all right, guys, just make sure, practice your shots. Make sure you work on point of contact again. You want to make sure the point of contact somewhere from your knee to your shoulder level, below the shoulder level, way in front of you. Work on your footwork, change your mindset, and it will help you so much to generate all that power that you need on one-handed backhand. Of course, there's more to it. You guys can do multiple drills that can help you out. I wanted to make it very short and sweet for you guys. If you have any questions or you want to know a little bit more about it, please comment in the comment section below, and we're gonna jump on it and make another video so it can help you out. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you again.